up to me, you wanna be a big dog player, it's not to be. Listen on the side ass, acting like a wise ass. Look up your face, and you never look back. So when you fall to the ground, and finally get back to reality, all that hope is around. So tell me, how does it feel to be the enemy? Step up to me, step up to me. Step up to me, step up to me. Step up to me, step up to me. You wanna be a big time player, it's not to be.
Welcome to the Shooting StaRKO Report, Episode 3, and with your host, Spoodbeest.
And Tablekorner.
And of course, we are here with your third episode, hopefully your first official episode of the evening, because, well, technical difficulties with random glitches, transitions, color changes, and slow movement happened to the first...
Maybe you should just jump into the video this time.
I was explaining the technical difficulties. And of course, we had to go live via Skype the last time. So this time, hopefully, is a complete difference. We can hope. Anyway, we're jumping right onto the video. Before we forget anything else, we were going to think about doing mini-sodes on this. We forgot to talk about it in our last two episodes. Sin Cara, formerly known as Mystico and CMLL, is officially coming to the WWE. We've seen his video packages. We've seen how big this guy's going to be upon debuting. We're going to talk about which brand he might be on and what feuds he could have and where he could be when he actually debuts. So, well, first off, he is a great talent and a great acquisition to the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
He could be a decent, next Rey Mysterio type guy. He could be the guy to sell the masks and stuff after Rey's retired and hangs up his boots. And he's just a great commodity. He's a great wrestler. He brings a new high-flying style to the WWE that we haven't seen since Rey Mysterio first got signed there back in 2002. So he's going to bring something different to the table, which is always a good thing. And as far as a brand goes on, I personally think he should be on Smackdown as a face, so he can go for titles like the Intercontinental title in the mid-card for a while and face a lot of the new, fresher talent that's on Smackdown. And besides, it's the better wrestling show. I think he should just go to Smackdown. He'd be much better utilized on there. And plus, their Mexican and Latin demographic is mainly viewed on SmackDown because guys like Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio and Eddie Guerrero, when he was still alive, competed on that show and they helped boost the ratings there. And people from that demographic were interested in watching the product and got them watching to begin with. So I think he just helped that demographic out. It just seems like a perfect fit to me. How about you?
Well, he thinks SmackDown. I think Raw. I still think face though. I don't think anyone wants to see Sin Cara as a heel, and I don't know why you would want to.
It wouldn't turn out that good, to be completely honest.
The reason I want to see him on Raw is because, well, as I say, high flyers equal class, and he'd be bringing more class to Raw because there's not that much there now. There's a lot. There were a lot more on SmackDown, but I just think he should go to Raw because he could have a great feud with people like Evan Bourne and John Morrison. Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. But that's actually a pretty good point. Guys like Evan Bourne and John Morrison could put on great matches with him. We've seen them put on great matches with Rey Mysterio in the past, so that could be a decent fit. He could help out the Raw's mid-card, but I think just for that demographic, he should go to SmackDown. We'll see where he ends up.
Well, maybe he could be bringing in the Latin viewers to
actual Raw.
Maybe he could bring up the boosting of viewers
that's
for
true.
that.
But we'll see. They've been airing the promos on both shows, so we don't know where he's going to end up. They're not even giving a specific date. That'd be cool if, let's say Christian doesn't compete in that 8-man tag at WrestleMania against the Core. It's well, I'll get to that later, but it seems like it's going to be Big Show, Kane, and Kofi Kingston and somebody else against the Core. What if they don't go with, they keep it an empty spot against the partner, and then he actually debuts at WrestleMania as their partner against the Core?
That'd be pretty cool.
That would actually be a really good debut, because I don't remember the last Superstar.
But then we know it's SmackDown, so...
Well, yeah. But then we haven't really seen a big unveil of a Superstar at WrestleMania before. I don't think we will, personally. I think he'll debut after WrestleMania, but I think that'd be a great way to add him to the roster.
Should definitely be at WrestleMania. It'd be way bigger of an impact. But
we've seen, Mick Foley, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, they all made their WWE debuts the night after WrestleMania. For some reason, these guys don't debut at WrestleMania, even if they're big stars. So we'll just have to wait and see with where they use Sin Cara after WrestleMania. Now on to actual Raw itself. The Undertaker came out and cut a promo on Triple H. Oh no, derp, that's SmackDown. Triple H came out and cut a promo on The Undertaker. See, these promos are so similar, I always forget who's where doing what. Like, Triple H came out, I think he challenged The Undertaker to meet him face-to-face on Raw the week before WrestleMania, because, yeah, it's only going to be 1 week from this Sunday. He basically told him, be a man, meet me face-to-face, and we can have a little chat, I guess, is basically what's going on next week. So that's going on. And really, the promos between the two men, they haven't really been all that different. Like, when Undertaker's talking about Triple H, it's so similar to how Triple H talked about him, the few nights before. It's basically the same promo done by each man. I'm going to beat you. No, I'm going to beat you. It's basically this back and forth thing they're doing with each other, except one's the game, one's the last outlaw. There's not much of a difference. It's the same old thing we've seen, but I guess it did a good job of promoting the match.
I'm just thinking here, be a man, do the right thing.
Be the man, do the right thing. Anyway, after that we got our first official match of the night. Sheamus, the new United States champion, against Evan Bourne. Basically a squash match. Evan Bourne went for the shooting star press early on in the match. Sheamus connected with a bro kick, pinned him, basic squash, nothing special. Winning, duh. And then, the saving grace, Daniel Bryan comes out and informs Sheamus that he will be invoking his rematch clause at WrestleMania. And Sheamus responds by saying yes with a vicious bro kick to Bryan's head. And at least we could be getting a great opener at WrestleMania. As I said, this match needs to open the show, give them a good 10-15 minutes, we could have a classic on our hands. And that was that. We're hoping for a great match.
I was hoping for a great match there, but squash.
Yeah.
It was just squash all around this week.
Yeah. And then after that, we got your generic Divas match with Eve against Maurice, in a non-title match at that. And once again, Michael Cole gets up out of his little coal mine, his little protective case, and starts yelling, "Who cares about this? Does anybody really care?" And does this whole thing over and over again, completely shits on the division the entire match, making a complete joke out of it. Eve gets the win, because Maurice continues to be the jobber along with Ted DiBiase, ever since they joined careers. Their careers went down the toilet. But anyway, Eve gets mad, tries to attack Cole in his box, or while he's trying to get out of his box, and he has his personal security team.
When he hits her, or when she hits him in the head. That's funny.
Slapped him in his head, and then the security took her away. And then Michael Cole says he's got another diss against Jerry Lawler, and he comes out and he's basically talking about how Jerry is just this shame of a father, how he's just this embarrassment to wrestling in total, and just says how he's a washed-up shell of a man, and how he shouldn't even deserve to be on television, shouldn't even deserve his family, saying every last thing that a bully would do to somebody to get them mad. Jerry gets angry.
The whole time, Jack Swagger, wasn't he sitting there telling him not to get up and not to do anything?
Yeah, Jack Swagger was actually right in Jerry Lawler's face. He was bending over the table, making sure Jerry didn't get up. Jerry got mad, punches Swagger, tries to go after Cole. Cole calls him a bully, and says he's going to overcome the bully at WrestleMania. Swagger attacks Lawler, locks him in the ankle lock, tenders him up, and then Michael Cole locks in his own ankle lock.
Wasn't he dressed like JR at a point at the show?
Actually, yes. To kick off the show, Michael Cole came out with a big-ass pillow or cotton stuffed in his shirt.
And he was doing
And he had the cowboy hat. He had JR's cowboy hat.
Horrible impression of a guy with a stroke with the droopy face.
Yeah, the Bell's palsy. He had cotton in his mouth, pretending he had Bell's palsy, going, "I'm JR, Jim Ross, Boomer Sooner, Slobber Knocker."
He's even sitting there with his mouth like this. Like a douchebag.
Mocking somebody with Bell's palsy. Of course, Jim Ross, that's the condition he suffers, and why he can't be on television every week anymore, because it gets so bad that, he legit gets very sick from it, and Michael Cole completely destroyed it, or made fun of him, and I just think it was kind of wrong, but I guess it gives him more heel heat, makes us all want to see his ass kicked that much more, and what he did with Jerry Lawler, with Jack Swagger, makes you just want to see him die at WrestleMania. You just want to see him laying there motionless. And I hope that's what we're going to get come WrestleMania. Don't lie. You want to see him get his ass kicked.
I don't see him get his ass kicked. I don't see him dead in the ring.
I was joking about that.
That'd bring some bad publicity to the wrestling
I meant
industry.
Motionless by, he got beat up so bad he can't move. Not really, legit dead. Figuratively, not literally. After that, John Cena comes live via satellite talking about, so the Miz, very dangerous man. He's the reason why I'm not here tonight. Yeah, I'm John Cena, and I'm live via satellite. Doing a little, I'm guessing from what happened later on in the show, it was a joke on The Rock being live via satellite, but it was kind of to play off that the Miz gave John Cena a concussion during the last week before. It did a good job showing how serious the Miz was until what happened later in the night, of course.
Well, wait. Why don't we just wait until we get to that part to talk about it?
Yeah, that's true. Basically, after that, anyway, after John Cena's little interview, we had the Core against Santino-Slav, the team of Santino, Marella, and Kozlov. This wasn't that long of a match either. It was probably just a little bit over what you consider a squash. Slater and Gabriel completely destroyed them. And then after the match, the rest of the Core enter the ring, and they start beating on Santino and Kozlov, and then Big Show and Kane make the save and chase off the Core to save the day.
And you see the Ford sitting in the middle of the ring, and you think, well, now we know rumors of a 4v4 at WrestleMania are true with those four, but...
From what happens on SmackDown, really kind of makes you think that it might not happen. So, yeah.
It could be either or anyway. We'll find out.
After that, we had basically our main event, even though it wasn't the main event segment. We had Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio in a WrestleMania Rewind match.
I still don't consider it a rewind.
Because, Kurt Angle was a part of their actual WrestleMania match. It was a triple threat match for the world title.
Great match.
These two are having a decent little match. Then all of a sudden... Because Randy Orton came on an interview earlier, and he was talking about how he has this tour bus, and how he's able to bring his wife and his daughter on different trips with him, and all this and that, and talking about how it's such a pride to be able to be with his family on the road. So it cuts to that trailer, and CM Punk's about to go in and, I guess, violate people.
Yeah.
And Orton gets mad. He runs to the back, gets to the trailer. I guess they just threw out the match because we didn't even get a... He just drops... He's about to RKO Mysterio or something, forgets about it, rolls out of the ring. We don't even get a count out. We just see Orton run out to the parking lot, and CM Punk hits him in the knee with a monkey wrench. Yes, a monkey wrench. And continues to hit his knee again and again, and I guess injures it, and tells him how he can't punt anymore because he just took out his punting leg, basically.
That's what he said?
It's like, but you won't be delivering any more punts now, is basically what he said.
I like what he said before that. It's like, you don't think I can be sick and twisted and all that?
Oh, that's what he said, yeah. After
that just puts some thoughts into your head when he's going into that trailer.
Well, yeah, he's trying to prove that he's more psychotic than Randy Orton. And then Orton's wife, because I don't know if it was an actress or not, was just staring like completely terrified in like the see-through door that they had for the trailer, and Punk puts his hand up to it, blows a kiss after staring into it, and then walks off, and then she goes and consoles Orton, who's lying on the ground. It's just showing that he's completely insane, basically. He wants to destroy Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Will he do that, though, is the question.
That's what straight edge does to you, folks.
Will he do that at WrestleMania, though? Will he destroy Randy Orton? I don't know.
He won't. Orton,
it's an interesting program going into WrestleMania, though. Very interesting program.
I think Orton will win.
He probably will.
I think he'll really destroy him, too.
I hope to get a great match out of that.
I hope they get a punt.
Anyway, after that, though, we had the main event segment of the evening. The Miz coming out saying he's going to rewrite Mystery with his new consultant of media, Alex Riley, who's back all of a sudden after getting beaten up by Khali last week.
I'm fired, but I'm back because I'm awesome. But this whole event we looked pretty promising too, and I was like, "Whoa, you guys watched TNA last week and you decided to take a book out of their page or page out of their book?" But no, and then it looked pretty promising, the segment, and then it just did a 180, and I was like, "What the fuck?" This kid knew it was gonna happen like a minute before it actually happened, though. So I was like...
Because we thought Miz is going to rewrite history by debuting the new design of the WWE title. Because he came out, there was something under, like, a cover. A cover was covering something he wanted to unveil.
And
he came out with no title. So that was a sign that the title was going to be under there. We thought, yes, finally he's going to get rid of that 5-year-old piece of glitz and glam of the WWE title. The hubcap spinny belt. Yes, we're going to get a new design after 5, almost 6 long years. He comes out, talks about how he's the champion, blah, 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 blah. And he unveils the belt with the W spinned and locked upside down to make an M. Whoopee! Big change to the WWE Championship. It's an M now.
You could have at least put something that said, like, I'm awesome on the spinner plate. That
Yeah.
would have been at least a little bit better. It still would have been gay, but...
It had been like the Rated R belt from when Edge was the Rated R champion in
that was
2006.
cool, but this would have just been, like, kind of ripping that off, I guess. But
I know, but that would
they
have
should
been
just
better
give him
than
a new belt
Yeah.
to sign, like
this year.
some red and white thing to go for the Miz. I don't know. His colors seem like red and white to me.
I don't know. They should just go with a new design and start fresh. How hard is that? I think people are getting so tired
Well,
of
they
the
need something
spinner
that
belt.
represents the Miz, because, he's heel and he's something to represent himself.
But no, just the W turned upside down for an M.
Yeah, that's such a representation of the Miz. When I think Miz, I think upside down W's on
And
spinner
so Miz
belts.
is just talking smack about John Cena and The Rock. He's going off and off on them, saying how they're cowards and whatnot, and how they're nothing compared to him. And how John Cena wasn't even there tonight, and he's basically ripping on him for that. John Cena comes on live via satellite again to, I guess, make fun of The Rock.
This is funny.
And then
When
you
before
can take
that
it from here.
Before that happened, though, earlier in the night when he was on the satellite, like, that's not your home. Oh my god, that looks like it was a false, the home that he was in during the live via satellite.
Yeah.
It looked like it was like some false backdrop, fake home. I was just laughing. When
It
I
looked
saw
like a McMahon office or something that they taped from the backstage area. It basically looked like a propped up backstage area. And then John Cena's talking about how he's never live via satellite and how he moves away the fake walls that are surrounding him. Shows he's backstage in the night. I guess him and Miz just didn't happen to walk into each other that night.
I know he was sitting in that room all day.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. I guess he locked it, and then when camera crew need to come in there, okay, come in. And then he comes to the ring after revealing that he's not a Rock and live via satellite. He comes out, Miz gets away, he destroys Riley, locks him in the STFU until referees come.
He releases it. The Miz starts coming back because he sees he's going to go put it back on, and then he stops when the John Cena stops. And finally, John Cena locks it in on him again, and Miz starts coming at him again. But then
He just keeps
stops.
it in, and then Miz walks away, and that's the end of the segment with Cena standing tall. This is the first time that John Cena has stood tall throughout this entire feud, but he did not destroy the Miz like the Miz destroyed
He
him
didn't
in
even
recent
touch
weeks.
the Miz.
He didn't even touch him. It was Saul Riley who got beat up. He's basically Miz's legacy without the other partner to get beat up. Like Randy Orton had Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase in 2009. This is basically the same thing. But yeah, that was Raw. It was kind of average. Did a good job of building up the pay-per-view, though. We'll see where they go next week with the last Raw before WrestleMania, which that will take place 6 days before the show. So that's getting pretty damn close now.
Alright, so, before we get on to TNA, I just want to let everyone know one thing. I'm a huge TNA fan. Love TNA. I used to think it was the better company over WWE in the past. That's my personal opinion. Until Hogan and Bischoff showed up. But, alright. Let's just say, tonight's episode made me want to just say, right now, fuck TNA, let's not even talk about it. That's how bad tonight's episode was. So, let's get on with the shit.
Well, okay, and I, for one, do not like TNA. I hate their booking. I hate their staff. I hate how the
That's ever
entire
since
promotion is running.
Nah. Victory Road 2009, he's been hating TNA.
I've been hating it for almost 2 years now. But I saw it through Impact again for the third time, although talking to people on the computer was much more entertaining than the show that was being put on for me. So once again, we get a whole almost 20-minute opening segment with Anderson, Hogan, and Bischoff remixing about him getting a rematch.
Oh, I liked the promo at the very beginning. That was cool. That was probably the only good part of the night. Oh, wait, sorry. I liked the remixed type promo they did where it was like going backwards and forward. And then I liked the teacher coming out and getting talking all that shit
Oh, yeah,
you wouldn't hear
Anderson
on WWE.
did that.
But they did that way too long. That should have been like
It took
3
up a
minutes.
good portion
That
of
was
the
like
show.
10 fucking minutes.
That was probably longer than any match that was on the card tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So we had that waste of time forever. And didn't they announce that he would take on Van Dam again, and it would be for the #1 contendership, and Sting would be the special outside enforcer? Because both Van Dam and Sting came out as well and added to the fun that was going on, and they all bickered and argued, and that led to once again another main event after a whole segment of bitching and arguing. Okay. Mickie James and Tara then had a match against one another. Mickie James ended up getting the win. And her feud with Madison Rayne keeps building up as they build towards, I believe it's the hair versus hair match for the title. I'm getting very worried that it's going to be Mickie James that's going to go bald.
And she's going to get screwed over again, just like in WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Tara completely destroyed Mickie James in the match, by the way. But just like all faces, they came back at the end.
The classic comeback, the classic babyface comeback.
It's so overused, they should just quit. It's pissing me off.
Yeah. Ugh.
Super Cena, Super Orton.
Super Taker.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's the worst.
Yeah, and that was that loveliness. And then I believe we got Hernandez and his new LAX partner. Esteban.
They're not actually called LAX, though. They're like some new name, like Latin blah 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 blah, some chain.
And then
I don't know.
Sarita and Rosita are their managers and or friends with benefits. I'm not too sure yet.
I was going to say life mates, but I like friends with benefits better. That makes more sense.
And then they defeated Matt Morgan and
Velvet Sky.
No, it was.
I know she got.
She interfered.
Yeah, she got beat up, and then. Oh wait, okay. Velvet Sky interfered in this match, and then Angelina Love came out to help her because they're beautiful people. But Winter came out before Angelina can get to the ring, and now they're doing another horrible storyline where I don't know. I guess Winter's controlling Angelina.
Yeah, she's
making
controlling
her mind control type shit going on.
That's exactly what they did. Katie Lee Burchill is now controlling Angelina Love. I can't for the life of me remember who Matt Morgan was teaming with, though.
Devon, I think.
Oh, it was Devon. Yes, brother Devon.
The funny thing is, while the match was going on, I didn't even see Devon in it. I didn't hear him come out.
Did he get beat up before the match? I'm going to be honest. I wasn't paying attention to fucking shit.
Neither was I. When he read the spoilers and he said Devon was in the match, I was like, what? I didn't see no black guy out there. Oh, I maybe shouldn't have said that.
Nah, it's alright. But anyway, that was that match.
I don't even know what happened. I just know who won. I don't even know who won.
No, it was Team Mexicans. Team
Mexicans. Right.
Hernandez
they
and
came out and they did another horrible storyline where they're saying Mexicans are the dominant race. That's pretty much what they said. And they had a giant
Mexican flag come out from the rafters and just go across.
And I was waiting for the moment they take out the American flag and say, we're going to burn this in a trash can, and then have Petey Williams come out and stop them again. The good old days.
2006 when things were booming and Samoa Joe was on top.
Oh, Kurt Angle, too. When the good old days when you could have all the titles on one guy.
We can harp on this stuff later, but... Okay, and then after that, didn't some match with, inking take place and they took on Scott Steiner and
Crimson. I was like, Scott Steiner, who the fuck's he gonna be teaming with? And Crimson comes out, I was like, more shitty ass shit.
What TNA doesn't need is thrown together tag teams unless they're gonna work.
They are stable, I guess. I don't know with Kurt Angle and shit, but why are they coming out as a tag team?
It's still a thrown together tag team. That's like The Miz and The Big Show or John Morrison and R-Truth. Those random thrown together WWE teams.
John Cena and R-Truth were good though. They should have just not have gone, alright, you two are together just randomly one night. We're not going to have any build-up for it.
If they were built up as a tag team, that would have been fine. But they just won a match on SmackDown to earn a tag team title shot at WrestleMania. Truth and Morrison. But that's what I mean. They keep doing TNA cannot afford to do thrown together tag teams. You got to build a tag team up. It's your division. It's what helps define your company.
It's your silver lining of the show, while Exhibition is your gold lining.
You can't fuck around with it. I'm sorry.
You need to perfect on it and stop fucking around.
Did Steiner and Crimson win that match?
They won. I don't know how they won, but then what's his face? Jesse Neal's all happy, or he's not happy, but he's showing sportsmanship and shaking hands with them and he's raising hands with them and cheering. Well, Shannon Moore's outside the ring, walking in circles, pacing kinda, and then I don't know what he does, but he goes back in the ring, and I think he hits Steiner, spits in his face or something, and then, and they all start swearing at each other as Jesse Neal's trying to hold them back between, and the refs come out and break all this up. This is just building up since Victory Road. Apparently, Shannon Moore is going into a heel type thing and being a douchebag.
Maybe he's going to join his two best friends in Immortal. Maybe that's what he
wants
to do. Oh my goodness! He's not going to join the two childhood friends of his. Oh, the horror!
You mean he's going to actually talked to them for the first time in months. You know, his best friends that he talked to, like, for the first month of him being in TNA. Oh,
and by that
that's
we
not
mean,
possible.
if anybody doesn't know, which I'm sure y'all do, we mean Matt and Jeff Hardy were Shannon Moore's best friends growing up.
Yeah, when they first came to TNA, he was all over with Jeff Hardy. Like, every week you'd see him. You wouldn't see them separated. And then all of a sudden, like, a couple months after, right before Bound for Glory, they just stopped seeing together. And then after that, they never even exchanged one word. It was like, okay, what the fuck happened to their friendship? Shannon Moore doesn't have anything to say about that?
So maybe this is just a build-up. Maybe it'll be the Omega-3 in Immortal.
No, because we already got... Wait. Okay, I'm just going to say this. We got the new Fortune, I guess, kind of thing going on. So
yes.
I guess this is going to be the new...
Ric Flair, Matt Hardy.
Is that what happened next? I think that's what happened next.
It happened either before that or next. But Ric Flair, Matt Hardy, and Bully Ray came out and they cut a promo, and my goodness, Matt Hardy was awful in talking tonight.
You're a good wrestler, but don't talk.
Please shut the fuck.
Oh, what's he saying? He was saying something.
He was rambling.
He was rambling about someone, though. Who was he rambling about?
He's rambling about AJ Styles.
Was he?
He is rambling about him. He's rambling about... basically rambling about all the former Fortune members.
Yes, but he was saying how Fortune's gay.
Yes, the whole time. And I'm just going to talk like this and just keep rambling, and you all suck, and you don't know what it's like to be me, Matthew Moore Hardy, blah, 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 and this is Ric Flair.
Well, he was talking really slowly, like... Matt Hardy, blah, 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 blah.
And he just, a complete waste of airtime.
Oh, no, all I heard was blah, 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 so...
Oh, man.
But then,
it was
this
bad.
is probably the shining moment of it, and I missed it. James Storm and Robert Roode come out and be like, yeah, beer money, something good's gonna happen. But they didn't have the scooter, though. Oh, well.
Yeah, the boot scoot, I think is what they call it.
And they get into a fight and they're winning. I don't know how. It's a 2-on-3, but they're winning because, you know, they're just awesome tag team.
Beer Money are amazing and they should never be split up. They're one of the two best tag teams in the world. If they get
split up, I'm going to be pissed off.
Well, they're two of the best tag teams in mainstream pro wrestling. As I said, TNA is really shitting on their best divisions. Not good.
Yeah, oh my god. They might as well have Michael Cole out there saying, does anyone care about this tag team match? What about that X Division match? That's horrid.
How's about that AJ Styles guy? Have you ever seen anyone more boring and nerdish? You know, like Daniel Bryan?
No, everyone just wants to see Eric Bischoff come out and cut a promo right as the match is supposed to start for 5 minutes.
And Bischoff is the biggest of ramblers. Anyway, so that happened, and then Abyss comes out as Beer Money are kicking Fortune's
Abyss returns, you know, because a 2x4 with spikes or nails through it doesn't only puts you up for a month and a half.
Spiky dildo.
You know, it's a month and a half. I love Janice.
I hate it.
I wish she was mine.
But then he attacks them, destroys them, and stands tall with his brethren, if you will.
I guess it's a new attire year, though, because he came out with his, like, new jacket type thing on. And,
with a hood?
Yeah, and underneath that he had a gray attire on instead of the old black shit, and he had some... Oh, it was pretty nice. I like the hood.
I guess it's his first change of attire since he wore the Asylum outfit when he returned a few years back.
The stupid white outfit.
Yeah, with the numbers on the back.
He was great with his feud against Matt Morgan then, but that was a crap attire. I never liked it. I liked it when he changed from the black mask to the red mask, but then he changed to all that white. I was like, fuck that.
But yeah, I guess he's back. I was never much of a fan of the guy. Wayne's a big fan of the guy. I
love him. Black Hole Slam, man.
Hopefully he can bring
remember the
something
Black
to
Hole
the table.
Slam botch on WWE?
Oh yeah, Umaga does the Black Hole Slam, or the Spinning Side Slam. JR calls it a Black Hole Slam.
That was
and I
funny.
just go, nice TNA reference. Anyway, we're rambling.
That's kind of like, it's Christian Cage. I mean, not Christian.
We're rambling now. We're pulling a Matt Hardy. We cannot be doing this. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm not Matt Hardy in any way.
And then we got
I got stopped.
And then we got to the main event, which was Mr. Anderson versus Rob Van Dam, brackets again.
Oh, wait, we forgot to say. Special Enforcer.
Sting.
Dun, dun, dun. Aw.
Sting!
I want to do a drum roll, man.
Well, Sting is the special...
Because Sting is just so winning.
Enforcer. So, they're actually having a decent match, probably the best of the night, then all of a sudden, Anderson bumbles into the referee, knocks him down.
What happened?
Basically is what happened.
I don't even know how the referee... I didn't know that's how...
Anderson caused the referee to get knocked down. He got this... The match got thrown out, but who
No, the match is still on, because Sting became the official referee of the match.
And
Sting was in his face about a low blow, I think, that he did to RVD, I'm not sure, and then they started fighting, and I don't know, something happened, and then the bell rang, and The
match was thrown out.
They were saying, though, that Anderson was disqualified at first, and I don't know. I guess the match got thrown out later, but they were saying he was disqualified at first.
And then Anderson and Sting engage in a big-ass fight and brawl.
Before that happens,
the show.
I think it was Hulk Hogan. He goes to RVD and says,
"Oh yeah, it's your title shot, brother."
You got your title shot because Anderson's disqualified for no reason. Great,
and then Anderson gets all pissed, starts beating the fuck shit out of Sting, and that's basically how we cap off this crap fest known as TNA Impact tonight. Horrid show, awful this week.
Oh, I gotta say, I like Sting's new, he changing up his makeup every week with different color tones and shades and stuff.
And there's only so much Sting and Anderson can do. They cannot carry a show, okay? You gotta have everything good all around. Like, oh my god, tonight was so bad.
They were pulling it off for a while, but it just...
You cannot have two wrestlers carry a show when you have bad writing all week. You can't have... Oh, Russo, Hogan, and Bischoff are awful together. I can't believe they're letting them work in the same company again. Head of creative, that company's in a lot of trouble right now. Anyway, that was that crap fest.
So you said W 2.0.
And now we cap off the week with Smackdown. And this week is pretty basic, not a lot of matches, but we had Edge versus Drew McIntyre again. Edge obviously gets the win with a spear, getting some momentum heading into his match with Alberto Del Rio at WrestleMania.
It's only momentum when you get the upper hand on your opponent.
Yes. I guess. Well, you know, because apparently losing on the road to WrestleMania makes you a weakling. Anyway, after that we had a WrestleMania Rewind match again with Rey Mysterio against CM Punk. If anybody remembers, that was from WrestleMania 26 last year. The match ends in a disqualification after Cody Rhodes interferes and destroys Mysterio. Continuing on their feud.
Randy Orton, I guess.
For their match. Yeah, Randy Orton didn't even come out and help. What's up with that? He is feuding with CM Punk.
What a douchebag. I told you, he's still pretty much a heel.
I'm guessing Mysterio basically took out Punk to the point where he couldn't help Rhodes beat him down, but Rhodes still pretty much destroyed him after the match.
So Rey Mysterio is just that godly, and he can, I can beat you so bad, Punk, you can't do anything anymore. I guess. Yeah. Rey Mysterio's awesome.
I love Rey Mysterio. He's one of my favorite superstars. Not only of all time, but currently in the WWE. I think he's a fantastic talent. He can have great matches with anybody. I still stand by that.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, not anybody, but almost anybody.
Well, yeah. Well, not against, like, the Great Khali or anybody. Barely any bumblefucks can get matches out of them. Like, you know? So, basically after that, Lay Cool defeated Rosa Mendez and Kelly Kelly in, I guess, main divas versus jobbers match.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just like jobbers, because that's basically what they do. Rosa Mendez never wins. Kelly Kelly rarely wins, and Lay Cool always wins, so I guess it's a...
Oh, Kelly Kelly, I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, win-win scenario.
Didn't she used to win all the time?
Maybe back in the day.
Back in the day when it was good.
It's once in a blue moon now. Kelly usually always loses, and Rosa never wins, so...
You know, just because Lay Cool has to be on the top... Everyone's like, Lay Cool's some of the best divas in WWE. Well, yeah, because that's because they're being pushed on the top. That doesn't mean they're good talent.
They can work.
They can, but doesn't... they're not great. There's better.
I think they're pretty damn decent for what they got to work with.
Oh, they're decent with the people they have to work with. I mean, some of those divas, they may be hot, but they fucking suck.
I still think Lay Cool are pretty good in-ring talents. They're a good tag team.
I stand by this. Mickie James, Trish Stratus, and Tara. I don't remember what she was called in WWE. Victoria. Yeah, those three are some of the... Oh, and Lita. Those four are the four best divas in history for wrestling.
Yeah, mainly WWE history, because that's where all their great matches came from, basically.
Well, they had some great matches on TNA, but we're not getting into that right now.
This is the SmackDown part of the segment. After that, we got Wade Barrett defeating Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship in a pretty good match. I like the title change, and Barrett's finally wearing gold around his waist since winning NXT. Defeats Kingston with the Wasteland. Not only does Barrett win the belt and bring pride back to the core, because now they have, Slater and Gabriel are the tag team champions, and now Barrett's the Intercontinental Champion. And of course Zeke has no title because he's pretty shitty. Anyway...
Oh, watch you become a world champion next?
Don't make me barf.
The United States champion?
Oh. Anyway, I still stand by the fact that he has no title because he's horrible.
I do like the title change, because whatever, but I don't like when it's happening, because this just builds up to the rumors of The Core versus Big Show, Kane, and Kofi Kingston. Now it's...
Well, and with a debatable fourth partner, could be an open partner, could be Christian.
I didn't want to see that match. I didn't want to see anyone else.
Because not only
in that
did
match.
Barrett win the title from him, but him and the Core beat Kingston down brutally after the match with, the typical beat down. They hit their finishers on him, and then Gabriel finishes him off with the 450.
I just saw. Never mind.
And then that was it. And that was basically that match.
That 450 is pretty gay. That's my opinion.
I love the 450 splash. It's an awesome move.
Well, I don't know the guy well enough to think he can be cool.
He's a good in-ring worker. That's all that matters.
I don't think I've ever seen a match with
for
him.
me. So that was that. And then in our main event, we had Christian versus Alberto Del Rio with really nothing on the line. It's just two guys having a match against one another. And then Christian wins, I guess with help from Edge. And that was it. And then Edge and Christian Brodus Clay tried to interfere and Edge speared him on the outside. This distracted Del Rio, who ended up getting hit by the kill switch. Christian gets the victory but doesn't really gain anything from it. And basically they get rid of his stupid personal ring announcer, and then Edge and Christian proceed. Edge wants to hit Christian with the chair. Or not, Edge doesn't want to hit Christian with the chair. He wants to hit Del Rio with the chair, but Christian says no. Takes it from Edge. Edge is wondering, what the fuck are you doing? And then Christian blasts Del Rio with the chair. And then they just kind of look dumbfounded at each other as the show ends.
It'd be funny if he said, takes the chair and hits Edge with it.
Yeah.
And then Del Rio.
So
that's what should have happened.
Edge goes to hit Del Rio. Christian grabs it from him. Edge is like, what the fuck? And then Christian blasts Del Rio with the chair, knocks him out, and then they just kind of look like, at each other to end the show, like, derp. But
derp moment.
Why is Christian having so much involvement in this match if they weren't going to add him into the match? We have 1 week until WrestleMania.
I'd say something.
No changes get made 1 week before WrestleMania.
Hey, there's a first time for everything. But what if he's not in the match? He will most likely interfere and help Edge win.
Probably. He might be,
come in and stop Brodus Clay.
You know how they have superstars in the corner, like Jack Swagger is going to be in Michael Cole's corner.
Oh, they do that with Christian in the main
Jerry
event
the
for
King Lawler.
Smackdown. They're fucking dumb shits.
I think they might do that, have Christian be in Edge's corner for the match and have him support him during the entire match.
If they do that for a world title match with Christian, who's a main eventer,
well,
they're dumb shits.
WWE hasn't really used him as a main eventer. They mainly used him as a mid-carder, but I've always been against that.
Stupid.
I've always wanted Christian to be a top-tier talent.
You'll know he's better off TNA.
That could be saved for another day. But, yeah, Christian never got added, and it never became a triple threat match this week. So why is he being used so closely in this feud if he's not going to be used properly in it? They may just throw him in that Core versus Team Big Show match.
Fuck that.
I don't even know how they. I don't even know how they build that up. Really, how would he be involved? Would he just be their fourth member they decided to add so they could fight against the Core? Because Christian has no history with the Core whatsoever. He has never faced
the
any
last
member of them.
SmackDown before or on Raw or whatever. He's gonna get jumped by the Core for no reason.
Yeah, and then he's gonna band with those three people who want revenge.
Yeah, he's gonna get jumped, and then they're gonna come out and they're gonna have like that dumbfounded stare off, like, huh?
The Undertaker face.
Me, you three, them.
And yeah, we know that
match
that a Big Show and Kane are gonna lead some team against the Core. We don't know what kind of match it's gonna be, but we know they're gonna have some sort of match at WrestleMania.
Well, we don't know that for sure, but it's most likely going to happen.
I'm pretty sure, because they're building up the Core Big Show feud since January.
Hey, did they announce it on this Friday?
No, they didn't.
Well, they don't ever announce anything a week before WrestleMania, Braid. Remember that. That was your words, not mine.
A change to a match, not adding a match. They can add a match a week before.
Shut the fuck up with your goddamn logic.
I said altered match. Because the match has been booked. Edge.
There's no difference. We all know it.
Okay, anyway, that was This Week in Wrestling. As you can see, a pretty average week. Decent build-up for WrestleMania. I'm pretty pumped for the pay-per-view. And, of course, an awful Impact to boot. We will be here next week after Impact. Hopefully it'll be a lot better. And we'll see you around next time.
Well, being a TNA fan, I have to agree. Awful fucking Impact. I mean, you give us an explosive, great match last week and then top it off this fucking awful shit. Good night.
Good night, everybody.